Hey guys, two things I want to cover today. I want to cover the strategy funnel, and I want to cover what I call the heartbeat graph. So let's start with the strategy funnel. Remember, we are trying to put together an overall strategic look at our business. And when you are putting together a strategic look, you need to see what is going on around you, what might be going on in the future in your business, what's going on in the future with your competitors, and then of course your internal results. And you put it all together. So the most visual aspect is put it into a funnel. And we look at the funnel as, what do you see, what are you going to do about it, and what are your results? And so in the C part, this is situational analysis, environmental scanning, competitors, you, internal, external, the whole picture, government, everything. What is happening in your business? Put it all together in this funnel and let it just start drift down. It starts to distill after a while, and once it distills, you're trying to figure out, okay, now what am I going to do? How am I going to match this, first of all, with my strategy? Remember what we talked about, you can't just say, well, that looks like a great sector, let's go for it. It has to match your strategy as a company. It has to match your mission and your vision. Otherwise, you're stretching your competencies to the point where you're not going to be good at anything. Your scope becomes too large, and then you become kind of a generalist as a company, and you really can't succeed that way. So you match it, and then you come up with your tactics and your plan. So it's a funnel. Let's pour it all in. Let's figure out what's going on. Let's pour it all in. Let's put it together in regards to what is it we're trying to accomplish as a company. Let's see if it fits. Let's see if it's something we necessarily have to address. Let's put it together in a strategic plan with tactics and an implementation plan. And then at the bottom, what are my results? So that it's worked its way through the funnel, and now what are my results? What was I expecting? What were my KPIs, and what are my current KPIs? And was I addressing key performance indicators that are bad, or did I have to come up with new key performance indicators? Whichever way you want to go with it, you evaluate it, you measures, and then you do it again. You do it again if it is helping your business. You eliminate it if it's not helping your business, or if it's something you must do and you didn't do it properly. That's fine. That's what this is about. Then go back up and change what you needed to change. There are certain aspects of the business that you can't just ignore because you didn't do it correctly. Go back and do it correctly. Figure this thing out. The other aspect I want to cover today is our heartbeat graph. And I call this a heartbeat graph because it starts in the center as the heart is beating outside. So this is, in essence, this is a company. All right, and I want you to think of it in terms of how does the company's heart work? Well, it starts with the CEO. The CEO is in charge of everything. The CEO is in charge of the culture, the mission, the strategy, the whole works. Reporting directly to the CEO are the department heads. So the people in charge of marketing and merchandising and logistics and accounting and finance, and those all report to the CEO. And it depends on how many direct reports the CEO actually wants, but that's called his executive staff. Inside this executive staff is where you make your decisions whether or not you're going to have enough resources to address which each area of the business wants. Not every area of the business is going to have their concerns addressed every single year, or every single 6 months, or every single month, or every single 5 years. Right? So this is where the debate goes on. And remember, resources are finite. One of the things I want you to remember from this is resources are finite. This is where you argue, this will help my company X. This will help my company with this ROI. This is going to help this. That's where you argue this. It then goes out to the departments. And so once you leave this, you should be in lockstep. You might not have agreed with the decision, but that doesn't matter at this point. You are now in lockstep, and you go out to the departments and you say, this is what we're going to focus on for this year or for the next 6 months. Based upon what? You have to explain to people why you're doing things. You always have your uncontrollables hitting you. All right? They should be factored over here in your plan, but you're always going to have uncontrollables, and you can't just look at them once a year. This is your pestle. This is your political, economic, social, technological, environmental, legal. These are all the things that you don't have any control over, but you need to address. And so environmental forces, you need to address them. And then you have your stakeholders. These are your stakeholders that, first of all, they're your customers, they're your suppliers, there are your stockholders. All right, these are your stockholders. Stockholders are stakeholders, but there are more stakeholders than stockholders. That's a reciprocal relationship. You depend on each other. They want you to do what you're going to do, and in return, they support you. And then by supporting you, they allow you to do what you need to do. So I call this the heartbeat graph. It all boils down to this. Resources are finite. It all starts with the executive team. Stakeholders have a reciprocal relationship with you, and environmental forces are something to address and to take care of, but you don't have any control over them. That's why they're called uncontrollable forces. Thank you.